Welcome to a discussion of torque and its nature and the reason this fact is so important. I won't read the text here. I will just kind of just talk a little bit and allow time for the thoughts to be read and entertained. A tiny fragment of the people in the world that are designing machines, mechanisms that capture and convert energy, like wind turbines, they know what I'm saying is true. Leverage, rotary second-class leverage, is at the heart of rotary machines, and we've advanced to where all machines are rotary. I mean, if the mechanism isn't rotary, its prime mover is, also known as an electric motor or gas engine. In either case, you've got a rotary prime mover that is part of the key to having efficient input on the energy side of a manipulation of a mechanism or apparatus that can apparently put out more energy than went in. There's a transition of sorts between force and joules and Newton meters. And one of the factors is time. It just, things happen over a duration. That's the difference between a watt and a joule, really, is a question of time. And we talk about watts and electrical watts as a continuous value, and that's what joules represent by incorporating time, at least in part, and that's my theory today. So the world is all enamored of close ratio mechanisms, close ratio gear sets, where you can have 18 different gearings in a little tiny box that you can slap at the back of a gas motor. Well, shit, that's fine, but that's power transmission, and it can only result in a loss. It can only result in a loss. Whereas if energy is the medium, is the currency, then you've got a different process and then a different outcome. Because mechanical watts can go in, be converted to scalar energy, scalar torque, scalar Newton meters, down closer to the center of rotation. That's always understood. This is a potential. This is an energy potential that can be utilized if one understands where and how to get to it. And probably the key thing is at least one component that has a large amount of inherent mechanical advantage. It's the idea expressed, seen in a double reduction gear, where you have a large gear and a small gear, both mounted on a common center of rotation, same shaft. So if you look at my apparatuses, you will see that technique being used with force being put in at radius x and energy taking out at a smaller radius, x minus something. That's where the gain is manifested. The apparent gain. I'm not saying there's a literal gain. There may be a literal gain, but the gain happens in the transition between force, like I said, force, joules, and Newton meters, and going from a lever that operates in 360 degrees. It stops being a lever and it starts being a gear. Wheel, drive, sprocket, etc. When there's two radii involved, as with a double reduction gear, you have built-in inherent mechanical advantage there, ready to use, whether it's 3 to 1 or 5 to 1 or 20 to 1. Now, that brings us back to close ratio. Most designers won't design something that has a 7 to 1 MA in it. But that's the key. You got to jump over and you start using 10 to 1 or 50 to 1 like they use in wind turbine rotors. So the result is the utter possibility that overunity, that there's a method of achieving apparent overunity and getting more electrical watts out than mechanical watts went in. And that's one way to express it, I do believe. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks.